Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy Friday. Welcome back to another live stream. Excited to chat with you about. Hope you're all, if you're in the US, I hope you're excited for the long weekend for 4th of July. And yeah, we got a good one today. I'm excited to chat about this because if you did know this or you didn't know this, quarter three started on July 1st. It's called Q3, and this is a something that happens obviously 4 times a year. But the significance that it has for brands is that oftentimes budgets are resetting. So one of the things that I wanted to chat about right at the top here was about how you can take advantage of that as a creator, and some of kind of the seasonal campaigns that a lot of brands are starting to think about, such as back to school, such as end of summer campaigns or summer campaigns, and then even potentially getting into the holidays. So I'm a big fan of always talking about this type of stuff, because you always, as a creator, want to be very strategic about your pitches and make sure that they're timely and relevant to the types of programs that the brand is thinking about at that time. What's up, Drea? Thanks so much for tuning in to the chat. Good morning, Nadia Maple Points. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so yeah, so if you're tuning in, let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. And so let's just kick it off. So the first thing that I wanted to chat about is that so I have basically kind of like 3 main points. So whether it's like back to school campaigns that you're pitching for, or summer pitching campaigns, the first thing I think that's really critical is working backwards. So for example, if you want to secure 3 brand partnerships for like back to school and end of summer, let's assume that you're going to have a 20% success rate on those pitches. As part of my program, I think I can get you closer to like 50%. That a lot of the creators in my courses are able to, really ramp up their hit rates for the pitches that they do for a lot of some of the tactics that I teach. But if you're doing it on your own, you can still have success. So let's just assume a 20%. Let's be pretty conservative. 20% success rate on your pitches. But for that to happen, if you want to get 3 brand partnerships, that means that you have to pitch 15 brands, right? Because if you pitch 15 brands, you're not going to hear back from some of them. And then the ones that you do hear back from, you're going to have to, negotiate with them or pitch with them and kind of still hook them. And so you really do need to think, to some degree, it is kind of a numbers game, even for us, even for April and I, when we're doing our pitches after many years, not everyone is going to be down for it, or not everyone is going to have a budget to participate, to collaborate with you at that time. Right. So I think it's really important to think about that mindset, that it is a numbers game to some degree, and you do need to kind of shoot your shot on enough brands and enough agencies to get some potential people to be interested in working with you, right? So working backwards to figure out, okay, if I want to get 3 brand partnerships at $1,000 each, I want to make $3,000 working with brands, for the back to school season or whatever it is. Being strategic about how many pitches do you actually need to send out is really, really critical. And by the way, you don't have a lot of time, right? Because the campaigns that the brands for back to school, for example, are that they're going to be running are, a lot of families go back to school in mid-August, right? So that means you have about a month and a half. You've got to do the pitches, you've got to get them interested. Maybe you're going to hop on the phone, maybe you got to do the contracts, you got to create the content, right? And then by the time back to school is here, boom, you got to post the content, right? So this is something that you really need to jump on right now. And even for summer campaigns, if you don't have kids and you want to do like a fashion, summer type fashion content, or maybe you're a food influencer or whatever, that's coming up too. Like the summer is here. Summer ends like Labor Day, right? So early September, right? So I technically, I think it's summer ends like September 22nd or something like that. But regardless, I think most brands kind of shift out of the summer campaign mindset once Labor Day hits. So that's the absolutely most important thing to think about. What's up, always, Anna? Thanks for tuning in. Marcus, Keto Twins, Emily, what's up? DN fam, fourth born child, awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Fourth born child, is that the Puerto Rico flag, or is that the Philippines flag? I can't see it. It's very small in my chat, so let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay, so by the way, while I'm talking about this, kind of pitching for Q3, let me know any questions you have in the chat about brand deals or diversifying yourself as a creator. Happy to answer your questions today. Okay, so point number 2 that I want to talk about is this one is kind of next level, but I always love encouraging creators to do this, which is as surveying your audience. Ask them, right? Ask them, for example, what their kids' school is doing for the fall. Like, are they going to be remote? Is it going to continue to be like distance learning? Is it going to be hybrid? Is it going to be fully in person? Right? And you can use the results of that survey to approach the brand, right? For creative ways about how to market to them, right? Because I think a lot of brands are still trying to figure out, okay, like how do we, like things are still like a question in our, in this environment, like are we, how should we be marketing to creators and consumers and things like that? How powerful do you think it would be if you could come to the brand with research that you've done yourself for your audience, and you'd be like, hey, like I asked my audience, I did like a poll on Instagram or, a poll on YouTube or in the comments or whatever. And here's what they told me. Here's what's like, what, back to school is going to look like for their family in their part of the country or their part of the world. Or, if it's a end of summer campaign you're pitching, it's not back to school. You can be surveying your audience about, what they're doing this summer. Are they traveling? Are they staying at home? Like, what is their summer going to look like, for, this year? Or like if it's you're a fashion influencer, what is your, like, how are you thinking about your wardrobe, this year, as people are starting to like emerge and like go back out into the economy and things like that, right? And you can even incentivize the survey. You can like literally set up a Google form survey if you have a Google account, it's free to create a Google form, and you just like, put 3 or 4 questions and you link it in your description box, or you link it in swipe ups on IG stories or in your bio on Instagram or on TikTok, or wherever. And you can incentivize them, say, hey, I'm going to, pick someone at random to get a $50 Starbucks card or Amazon card, or $25. It doesn't have to be a lot. $5. It doesn't have to be a lot. Like, especially if you have loyal followers or subscribers, they're going to want to like support you, right? And answer these questions because they want to have their voice heard. So that's a really easy way that you can do that. Also, next level tactic here in the survey, ask them the brands and the products that they always buy every year for their kids for a back to school campaign, right? And then you can use that list as a list of brands to target, right? Or if it's a summer campaign, what brands are you purchasing for your summer travels or for entertaining this summer or something like that, right? You can crowdsource this stuff. We've talked about it in past videos, and I go into this in a lot of detail in my course, but like, you should be partnering with the brands that your audience resonates with. Yeah. Yes. Like, obviously you want to like get excited about the brand and everything too, because ultimately it's a partnership with you. But at the end of the day, the brand is trying to tap into your audience as potential customers of the brand. Right. So what better way to like let their voices be heard? And like, if you have like, let's say 100 people that respond to the survey, and 40 people say, oh my gosh, I love Walmart, or I love this brand or whatever, you can hold that up and then you show the results of the survey to your audience, right? You'd be like, thank you so much for everyone for participating. Like 40% of you said that you love this brand or whatever. And then you go out and you pitch the brand, you get the deal. And then don't you think all your followers are going to be so stoked for you that you got this deal, that they were the ones who like raised their hands and said, hey, this is the brand that we want to ultimately partner with, right? Oftentimes they may list brands that you've never heard of or products that you've never heard of, so that then you can go out and pitch those brands, right? Is that a cool tactic? Let me know if you think this is a cool tactic. I think it's a cool tactic, right? The other thing too is even if nothing comes of your pitches, okay, you now have a ton of valuable information about your audience that could potentially inform future content, organic content for you, right? Isn't that so cool? Because now you could be like, oh wow, like my audience is like thinking about entertaining, or they're thinking about summer travel. Maybe I'm going to do a top 10 travel must-have products or something, or a top 10 ways to safely travel with your family, or safely do a road trip with my family this summer. I don't know. I'm just like making up ideas, but like crowdsource this stuff, guys. If you get into a creative rut, this is like a brilliant way to be able to do stuff like that. Um, So let me let me see. Yeah, a fourth born child said that was a Philippines flag. Okay, awesome, absolutely. Zaira Rodriguez, hi Justin, thank you so much. I've learned so much. Absolutely, I'm so happy to help. Dian Fam said yes, I love this tactic. I've recently started doing this. Yeah, it's solid organic content mining for sure. Yes, things with Gia, exactly. Exactly, Gia. When you can do this kind of like content mining with your own followers, it makes them love you even more because they have a voice and they're feeling heard. And when you can actually like acknowledge that, I like to say that your DMs and your comment sections are content fuel. Right. If you're ever trying to figure out what to post about, what to talk about, I do this all the time. If I'm kind of stuck in a rut and I'm trying to figure out, okay, like what do I post on Instagram? What do I post on my YouTube? Like, what do I make a video about? Right. Like I'm going to like go into my DMs. I'm going to go into my comment section and be like, what are people asking me? And if it's like something I see enough, I'm just going to like make a video about that or make a post about that. Right. So it's absolutely, I absolutely love that tactic. Okay. So got some comments in the chat. Marcus, I see it. Let me round off this Q3 pitching strategy discussion with point number 3, and then we'll get to your question. So point number 3, this is the thing that I think is the biggest struggle for a lot of creators is that what if they say no? What do I do then? Like, what if they just like say like, oh, thanks for the interest, but we're not really interested in this at this point. Pivot to holiday. Right? Because like 95% of brands in my experience are going to do some sort of campaign or some sort of promotion around the holiday time. So you can absolutely pivot to that with other ideas. Again, persistence is the key here. Okay. Because you just cannot give up. A lot of creators just send like one pitch email, right? And they don't hear back. And then it's like a big blow to their egos, right? And like, I'm here to say that you cannot take things personally as a creator. Any number of things could have happened to your email, right? It could have gotten flagged as spam. It could have, the contact could have opened it and then forgot to respond, forgot to reply to you, right? Or maybe they were planning on getting back to you, but they just got super busy. Right. So you don't automatically assume the worst. I swear, I feel like creators do that so much. They just assume that, oh man, this brand hates me. They don't want to work with me. They were insulted that I pitched them. And I can guarantee you 90% of the time it's not that. They're just busy. They got flagged as spam, et cetera, et cetera. By the way, speaking of getting flagged as spam, this is one of the most common errors that I see a lot of creators doing in their pitches, which is that they're including too many links in their email. And a lot of corporate domains for brands flag that stuff as spam. So I always encourage people to not include any links. Maybe one link. One link is the maximum. And the link should be a link to like your platforms, a link to like a post that you've made. But other than that, don't include links. Don't include your media kit. Don't include, just general links to your channel. Like just if at all possible, I actually, to increase the possibility of it actually getting through to the intended recipient, just try to minimize the amount of links that you're showing. A lot of creators have like email signatures where they'll have like, a bunch of links in the email signature, right? Like a links to all their platforms. And I encourage you to strip that away. Don't include anything like that. You can say like, put the logos on there of the platforms that you're on. And maybe you say like, 200,000 across, 200,000 plus followers total or something. But don't include links. You can send that to them once you get them on the hook. Because what happens is that once the brand responds to you, then it gets identified in their email, system that you are a recipient that can, is allowed to send them messages. And that's when you can send them, links and things like that. Again, the whole point is like getting your foot in the door, and then you can send all that information, right? So again, like following up is the key to be able to secure those deals. I want to say hi to people in the chat. What's up, Angela, Maria Figueroa, Cat Cricket Design? That's good advice. I never thought about it like that. Thank you. Falco family. What's going on? Falco fam was in my Brand Deal Wizard program. Thank you so much. Stages of Gray, always Anna. What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. Okay, Marcus. Real quick comment from D. I find that the more pitches I send, the more I learn along the way. It gets easier each time, and it's so worth the effort. D, exactly. That's how it comes with repetition, right? As with anything, if you want to get in shape, right? Like, what do you have to do? You can't do it once and then expect to see results, right? This is a habit that you need to form, that you're doing over and over and over. And as you do this, you're going to, improve your form. You're going to improve your confidence. You're going to improve your physique, which is like your creator identity, right? So it absolutely comes with repetition. And I'm so glad that you have found that, D, because that has also been the case, in the beginning. Even like, let me tell you a story. Like in the beginning, when my wife April and I were first starting to do pitches and starting to do content work with brands and things like that, it was terrifying. It was terrifying. So yeah, maybe I seem super confident now. I mean, heck, I'm teaching a course about brand partnerships, so hopefully I'm confident, right? But in the beginning, I was terrified, right? It was like, that dread of like, reaching out and like not knowing if you're reaching out to the right person. That's another thing. It's like, okay, you reach out to that one person and they don't respond, and then you're like, okay, well, do I reach out to another person, or do I like follow up with this person, or like that? I know that can be confusing, but to be honest, like we were absolutely terrified. We didn't know what to say. We didn't know how to pitch ourselves. We didn't know how to ask for money. That's another thing, is like, you're doing your pitching and then it's like, well, okay, I'm reaching out to you, but how do I also say, well, you need, yeah, I'm the one reaching out, but you still need to pay me. This isn't going to be like for free product or free promotion or something like that, right? I'm reaching out because I think that this would be a fantastic partnership to give your brand exposure on my platforms, but you still got to pay me, right? So yeah, in the beginning, like it was definitely terrifying, but as we got, once we like sent out 50 emails or sent out 25 emails and we finally got, snagged someone and got them on the hook and got them interested, that's when we started to gain that confidence and we got some repetitions under our belt. We got some brand partnerships under our belt. And then, it started to like get easier and easier and easier because the confidence built up, right? It's as with anything. It's as with anything that you learn in university or anything you learn in school, right? You go into the test and you feel way more confident if you've been studying. And by the way, studying is, you have to like, the fact that you're on this live stream is a form of studying, right? Creators that have taken my course, like D and like Brian, the Falco family, in the chat here, they invested in my course. That's a form of studying, right? So investing in yourself, investing in your mindset, investing in the skills and the tools to be able to know that when you do these pitches, or you get an inbound opportunity from a brand who's reaching out to you for a partnership, you know the lingo, you know what to say, you know what to look for, you know how to structure your packages and your negotiations. You feel confident in the pricing that you're sending to them, right? Again, all of this comes with time. It may seem very overwhelming now, but that's the point of these live streams. Honestly, that's another reason why I do these, is to help, prepare you for the day when that brand responds to you or that brand reaches out and you are like, boom, this is super exciting. And because that's the other thing too. The thing that I find the most liberating and freeing thing about doing this is that you want to get these repetitions out of the way because you want to like allow yourself the latitude to stumble on some in the beginning, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to bungle your dream partnership. What happens when your dream partner reaches out, or you pitch your dream partner and they say, yes, we're interested, let's partner. And then you're like, oh crap, what do I do? You don't want that to be your first pitch, right? You want that to be your 30th pitch or your 15th brand negotiation or conversation, right? Because you want to make sure that one goes perfectly, right? So as with anything, you need to get those repetitions under your belt so that you can ensure that when that happens, that you execute it perfectly, right? Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. I'm gonna take a swig of water here. Hopefully that like resonates and I get some of you like off your butts to like actually do this. Oh, hey, Ashley, what's going on? Gia said, that's the best advice. It all gets better and you get better as the journey continues. It's so fulfilling to see that growth in your own space and in your own abilities. Absolutely. I love that. Ashley, Ashley said, Ashley was in my course, which just ended yesterday. Week 4 was yesterday. She said, haha, that was me. Thank God you were there to help. That is exactly why I need more practice. Exactly, Ashley. Yes, because when your dream partnerships come, you're going to be ready because you've already done the repetitions. You've already done the work. Exactly. So let me scroll back up. Marcus had a question here in the chat. Question. I got a $200 product from a brand last year. I loved it and I made videos about it. And now I got the updated version from them. It has a design flaw that makes me not want to recommend it. Any advice? So that's a great, it's a great question, Marcus. So a couple points of clarification. Are they asking you to make a new video about it? Are they like trying to compensate you again for like another sponsored partnership? Or are you Is this something that a product that you use in your normal workflow for the content that you create, and you would be like typically recommending it in your content? Or like, give me a little bit more context around it. I think, here you said the above was not a paid brand deal, but I made plenty of affiliate income from it via Amazon. Interesting. Okay, so you got the new product. You've been listing in your description box. Okay, so here's what I would do. This is an opportunity to forge a much deeper partnership with the brand, in my opinion. I would actually reach out to them with this feedback. I would say, be very upfront about it. Be like, hey, I absolutely love the previous version of your product. I was so excited to, talk about it and promote it on my channels, promote it to my audience, promote it as an affiliate and make, commissions on Amazon, et cetera, et cetera. I got the new product, and here's a design flaw that I found. Right. And use that to basically say, I would love to give you some feedback on this product to help improve it for the next iteration. Right? Because then what happens? Then potentially you get on the phone with them and you walk them through exactly why you think it's a design flaw. Right? Again, like this is critical. They want to hear this from you, right? Because if you don't tell them, there's no way that they can improve. Right? So you get on the phone as one of their most vocal advocates who has advocated for them in the past. You get on the phone with them. And again, this is like, maybe it's not, they're not compensating for you for this necessarily. You get on the phone with them just out of the kindness of your heart as one of their advocates, and you say, here's what I would change about the product. So then what happens? They make another iteration, another improvement down the line. Maybe it takes them 6 months. Maybe it takes them a year to improve the product. But who do you think they're going to call when they're ready to release V3 to the world? They're going to come back to Marcus, who was the person who took his time to help them understand how the product needed to improve. And by the way, once you hear that they're going to, maybe they send you version 3 and they're like, oh, we're so excited. You're going to be like, boom, yes, I would love to collaborate again. Here's my rate. I would love to showcase this to my audience again. Right? So again, as I talk about on this channel consistently, it's all about how you can deepen your relationship with these brands. It's not just this like quick money thing, right? So sometimes you are going to be doing things where you're not directly compensated, but you are building deeper relationships with them so that down the line, it blossoms into something that is more substantial, right? Because the other thing too is that you are differentiating yourself from other creators by doing things like this, right? It's not just a transaction. You're not just a commodity in their mind, right? You are a valued partner in the ecosystem of people who value their products, and they want to have you doing these types of things. So again, look at yourself more as like a consultant than a creator, because you are helping them with a serious business issue, right? So that's how I would approach this, honestly. So yes, it's a disappointment because, maybe this is not something that you feel comfortable promoting, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. But don't just like ignore it and not tell them. Like, be transparent. Approach them with this and say, here, this is the issue that I see, and I would love to talk with you about it. And then, yes, maybe that in 6 months this is going to develop into something that is a paid partnership, but maybe not in the short term. So let me know if that resonates. Marcus says it has no strings attached and is a perfect fit for my audience. And he says, I love that idea. Probably the life cycle of this product is a couple of years. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer, because then, even if you do provide them feedback, it is going to take maybe a couple of years for them to, incorporate that into the next version of the product. But that's just kind of the way it goes sometimes. But again, this all comes down to your integrity as a creator, right? You never want to be promoting products that have a design flaw, because guess what? Your followers are probably going to find that out too, and then you're going to get blowback, and they're going to say like, how could you promote this product, right? Like how you must have known that this was a design flaw. So again, it all comes down to your integrity as a creator, and an extra $50 in affiliate income, or, I know the product you said was, I'm not sure how much the product was. You said they paid you $200 to promote it, but I'm not sure how much the product was. I'm not sure how much affiliate income you were making, but anyways, whatever it is, I don't care how much it is. It's not worth promoting a defective product to your followers. Right. So again, at the end of the day, like Ashley actually said, they're going to respect it more. They will absolutely respect you more. And, who knows, maybe they're going to come out with another product down the line and they want you to promote that. Right. So I don't know. I don't know exactly all the color around the situation, but if it was me, that's how I would approach it. And by the way, Ashley said, freaking amazing course. Thank you, Ashley. I need to screenshot this freaking amazing course. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that so much. Marcus said it was a $200 conference speakerphone. I see. So yeah, so if it's a $200, conference speakerphone, it's not, that's, you affiliate income on that. I could see it could be, could be meaningful. Do they still sell the old version, by the way? I'm just curious, because could you still be promoting the old version, or did they stop selling that on Amazon? I'm just curious, because you could still promote the old version because that one didn't have the design flaw, right? So anyways, just a thought there. Oh, what's up? April Athena 7 said, "Hi, handsome," with heart eye emojis in the Instagram chat. Hey, Boop, what's going on? Hey, Fernanda, Melissa, thanks for joining. So yeah, drop in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions about brand partnerships, brand deals. Marcus said the old version is still for sale, and I get sales every week on that one, but it's at the end of its life. Oh man, that's tough. That's super challenging. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would just kind of, you got to kind of, take the hit on that one. Sometimes it's just going to be, for the integrity of your creator reputation, that has to be your most prized asset as a creator, right? And so, that should be your true north. So like, one thing that I have a YouTube video about this, but about, as a creator, how important it is to have kind of like a mission or a vision. They're a little bit different, but my the way I think about this channel as a creator is I want to impact as many creators as possible and help them become more business savvy and live the life that they want to live, right? And that's like kind of like my core mission. And so every decision that I'm faced with as a creator myself, and it's like a hard decision, I'm just like, is this the right decision for me? I always go back to that mission, that true north, and I see, okay, is it in alignment with that? Right? Because then decisions become very easy. So if a brand, I have brands or companies, startups who are trying to reach out to creators. I have a lot of those people, because my audience is creators. So they want to reach my audience. And so oftentimes I have to make that decision like, okay, well, would this company be a good fit for my audience? Would it serve them, right? Would it serve my mission to empower creators and help them become more business savvy and help them live the life that they want? Would this sponsorship align with that? Right. And if it doesn't, then it's an easy decision for me. And I just have to say no, and I have to pass it and pass on it. And so I would suggest that for every creator to sit down and really think about what is this? What is the mission? What is your mission? What is your vision for your platforms, for your channel? What is the transformative promise that you're trying to make to your audience, to your followers? How are you trying to change their lives or help them in some way? Because then the decisions that you need to make will become very obvious. And so I would suggest that, in this scenario, if you have a mission to help, people who watch your YouTube channel find, I think you have kind of like a B2B channel, right, Marcus? And, you essentially will help them. Actually, so can you link your channel, Marcus? I'm not sure I've seen your channel recently, so I'd love to take a look at your channel. But, it'll make these types of decisions very easy. And I would suggest this is one of those types of decisions, right? What's up, Natalie Frick Blog? Thanks for joining on the IG live chat. I was going to say something else about this mission and vision and values. So, the other thing I was going to say is that, your mission could change or your vision could change over the years. As a creator, maybe you started off one way and you thought that this was going to be kind of like, the promise that you're going to be making to your followers or, the content that you're creating. But as you get up, as you grow older, as you mature, as you have new interests. A good example of this is my wife, April, and I started our social media careers more than 10 years ago, and we didn't have kids. We were not parents. We weren't even married at the time. We were engaged, right? So our life we've grown up on social media to some degree, right? Over the last 10, 11, 12 years. We've had kids, what's really critical and important to us about, what we do on social media. Heck, the best example is I only started creating content on Creator Wizard a year ago, right? And so my mission and values as a person, as a creator, has completely changed over the last year because I am so excited and dedicated to helping other creators now. Whereas I was doing that before, I was helping people on the side and I was helping, creators become more empowered and things like that. But it wasn't my core focus, right? That like my core focus was other things, right? So now that this is like my mission and this is what I'm like absolutely dedicated to. So your mission and your values as a person can absolutely change over the years as you grow as a creator. So don't feel like you need to be like locked into this like, box and you can't escape it. Marcus said, I don't think links are allowed. I believe they're automatically blocked. My bad. DM me later because I would love to check it out. And yeah, Drea's Curious Cuisine said that the mission and vision statement is a great idea. Let me know in the chat if you have thought about this at some point, or maybe this is the first time you're thinking about it. I want to know, what do you think? What is your mission as a creator? Because I'd love to talk. I'd love to workshop some of these. I'd love to talk about this. Or what is your vision? What do you think it is that like the thing is that you're providing, the service or the transformative promise that you're giving to your followers? What do you think that is? I would love to talk about this to some of you because I love talking about this stuff. I think it's so fascinating. While some of you are chatting that, I did want to we were just talking about pitching for like Q3 and things like that. Check this article out. I just saw this article just this morning, and it says back to school shopping to rise 9% in 2021. Okay, this is like a report that just came out. So don't you think that you can use data like this in your pitches? This is pretty awesome, right? You can use data like this when you reach out, and you can take some stats in here, right? And you'd be like, spending is going to increase 9% for back to school. If there's like a brand that's on the fence and they don't know like whether they're going to like, partner with creators or something this year, you can absolutely cite statistics like this. So always be on the lookout for things like this, because I don't know, I think like this is really compelling as a creator to be able to like showcase data like this because you just instantly kind of stand out from the pack. April, my wife, April Dana 7. I couldn't see it for a second. My mission is to be a friend for others because when I started, I was lonely and needed friendship. That's amazing, honey. I feel like we haven't ever really talked about that too much, and like that's really cool that you feel like that is your mission. So let's talk about that. Like you think about the content that you're creating to that mission, honey. Right. It's like, okay, like I'm going to, provide, like, for example, like, during your pregnancy journey, right? You made a lot of content sharing your pregnancy journey for others because, that might help someone who's also at, 20-week update or a 30-week update or things that I experienced, right? You shared your entire, like, when you got a tummy tuck, right? You shared that whole journey on YouTube, right? A lot of people wouldn't be comfortable to share that, but, because you are trying to be a friend to the, other people that follow you, like those are the types of things. Oh, here we go.
Hi, friends.
Come here, boo. Come sit on my lap. Come over here. Sit right here. This is great. You got your cameo. I didn't think you'd show up today.
Hi, yes. She's got lashes today.
Yes.
She's got the full drag today.
Yeah. Talk about, so tell me, I was just talking about how like, your mission about like being a friend to other people can help you clarify the content that you create too sometimes. Cause it's like, if you know that you're trying to kind of be there for other people, like, your pregnancy updates or your, how you documented your tummy tuck or like all these things that, some people might be uncomfortable to share. You do that,
Yeah. Hi, Ashley. How are you? Hi, Natasha. Hi, Marcus. Hi, Maple Points. Hi, friends. So yeah, my mission is to just be your friend. So being a friend means I'm going to be honest with you. Being a friend means I'm going to be there for you. And I reply to all your comments. So you best believe I am a real friend. Okay. Being a friend is recommending things that I truly love. So I think I embody a real friend to my friends who follow me. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my mission, is to just be a friend. And yeah. And I think I'm doing a good job being your friend.
Yes, you are. You're my best friend.
Yeah. And I'm getting ready because Justin and I have a date.
Ooh.
A lunch date. And I'm really excited about it. So that's why I look like this right now. I'm going to get all the way ready. Yeah. DN fam, hey girl, I love DN fam. We've been chatting lately.
This is DN fam's mission. Let's see.
Oh, I want to read. Can I read DN fam?
I ask people about their missions.
I want to help my go ahead.
No, you're right there.
I want to help my audience find products that truly work from a friend's perspective. I want to get to know my supporters. Yes, DN fam. Yes, absolutely. That's a good one.
I think that the most amazing thing about social media is that it allows you to connect with people who, like, have interests that you may not have in your friend group physically, right? So it's like you may have like unique interests. That's the power of the internet, right? So it's like other people, like I know you do like a lot of Costco Canada videos, for example, D, right? So it's like that, you know, there's a lot of people who are obsessed with Canada that you may not know personally in your life, but like they connect with you because you have a similar interest in that. And so it's like I feel like that helps people clarify like the content that they should post, because it's like, what would I, if I were like searching out this, what would I want me to make, you know, or what would I want to like watch or things like that, you know? So that can be very clarifying, I think, sometimes.
Yes, that's a good one. I love that.
Marcus said this was his current draft of his mission. I help professionals engage better with their audience on stage and in video conferences. My channel is Communication Tips.
Wow,
that's
Marcus,
awesome.
That's awesome.
So you know, along that
I
note,
gotta get ready,
yeah,
y'all.
okay. Thank you for coming, Boo. Love you.
Have a great day, friends.
Love you. Yeah. So Marcus, you know, this is your mission. So this issue that we were talking about, sorry, April had a bunch of like lip gloss on. I smooched her. Okay. Sometimes she wears this like lip plumping lip gloss and I like kiss her and it just like absolutely burns my lips. I'm like, ah! Well, I have to like wipe it off like that. Anyways, random. But yeah, so Marcus, you know, because this is your mission, you know, promoting a defective video conference system, that's not going to help them engage with their audiences better, right? So I think this answers your question, right? And by the way, thinking about this mission real quickly, like what?
First of all,
what?
You ain't finna wipe my lips. I was watching you.
I was just thinking if it was lip plumping. I didn't know.
The audacity.
It was looking all shiny. That's why.
He wiped my lips, boy. You ain't getting anything.
Yeah, give me another kiss. Let me get another.
Tonight, boy, bye.
I'm so dead. She said in the chat, excuse me, you wiped my lip gloss. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry, Boo. Okay. So Marcus, I gotta get back on track here. Okay. I help professionals engage better with their audiences. Okay. So let's talk about this, Marcus. Let's talk about all the different types of brands that you can target with this mission, right? That's another thing that your mission can help you with, is like figuring out the brands that you want to target, right? So you're trying to help them engage better. So let's talk about all the things. You know, notebooks, note-taking apps, right? Things to help you stay organized as a professional, right? That's going to help you because then if you clarify your you know, if you clarify, help people, let me like put my thoughts together. Something like, let's say Canva. Canva allows professionals to articulate their messages in a beautiful way. Canva, right? So that's like a design platform, right? That's something maybe you wouldn't traditionally think about being able to partner with. What are other, like CRMs, something to help audiences or professionals like organize their contacts, you know, or their followers, their audiences, right? You know, tools to help people, you know, do better presentations, like, you know, clickers, like, you know, to help advance slides or laser pointers, or like, you know, those actually like physical tools, things like that. You know, like I think in the US, they have something called Toastmasters, which is a public speaking class, or like it's like a support group. So you go and you actually like practice public speaking. I think it's worldwide actually, but like organizations like that is something that would be an amazing partnership for you and your channel. So it's like, right. So I love that about the mission too, is that it helps you kind of clarify like who are like potential brand partners that I could actually like work with to help, you know, my audience, you know, to help serve my mission for my audience. Right. So I'm glad that you, oh, wow, that's so cool. Marcus said, yeah, Toastmasters for sure. Been a member since 2007. Love that. I have never done it. Do you think it's worth it, Marcus? I've always been curious about doing it. And I always want to like, I've always wanted to like try it, because one of my biggest things is I feel like I say like constantly and when I talk, especially like on live streams and things like that. I don't know. I hate that. Whenever I like listen to myself talk on live stream, I always say like, and I need to get better about not saying like and just like pausing and not like filling it with words like and but you know, let me know your experience. Sheetal says, hey Justin, what's up, Sheetal? I think I saw Diana from Online Course Resource. By the way, if you guys are thinking about creating a course, Diana has an awesome YouTube channel all about like online course tips and like the tools behind it and things like that. So definitely go check out our channel. She said she's lurking and listening. So thanks for tuning in, Diana. Diana said, I did Toastmasters for 3 years. It improved my delivery. Maybe I should think about this. I actually looked into it during the pandemic because I think they shifted to like Zoom, like kind of doing it remotely. Is that as effective, you think? I don't know if you've participated in any of that since then. So yeah, I need to think of that. Natasha said, I'm switching over to being a sports reporter, but I'm having a hard time transitioning from the beauty industry to find brands in the sports area. Interesting. So Natasha, tell me a little bit more about the content that you're creating. I'm really curious about this. So are you being a sports reporter for traditional media, or are you like doing sports reporting for your social platforms? I'm really curious about that. Because that's really intriguing. That's really interesting to me. But yeah, I mean, finding brands in the sports area, obviously you've got the traditional ones in terms of like, you know, products, supplements, and like, you know, equipment and things like that that are, you know, that are like targeting those types of you know, consumers and things like that. So give me a little bit more color in the comments. Oh, wow. Marcus said that I was even featured in their magazine a few times. Wow, Marcus, that's amazing. Congratulations. That's so cool. Yeah. For Toastmasters, you can give it a go. You can always go as a guest with no strings attached. That's good to know. I think I might just try it. I feel like I was a little intimidated, but I don't know why, because it's like, this is public speaking. I'm like getting up in front. It's different though. I'm just like looking into a camera lens. I'm not looking into like 50 people's faces. I don't know why. Every time I do public speaking, I get like my hands get clammy, and it's like, I love like speaking. I'll do it for sure, but I don't know why. I feel like I just need to like get that out of my system, because doing these lives, I have literally no hesitation. Like I just do not like have any problem. I don't get nervous at all. It does help to prepare a little bit. Like you probably saw at the top of the live that I had like some, you know, a little bit of stuff to talk about to kind of get the juices flowing, get your guys' comments in the live chat. It's very hard to do a live when no one asks questions, or like no one is asking like substantial questions, substantive questions that, you know, have meat that I can talk about. So oftentimes so like behind the scenes, when I first started doing live, I didn't prepare anything. I was like, okay, I'll just like get in and answer people's questions. But especially in the first like few minutes, it's like, okay, what do I talk about? No one has asked like a long question yet. And so what I started doing was doing like just like a little icebreaker, right? So it's like, okay, I'm going to talk about pitching for Q3 because that's a very timely thing. So I'm going to start off and talk about that for 10 minutes. And by the time I'm done talking about that, you know, someone has asked a question, and that's exactly what happened, right? So just like a little bit behind the scenes then. Okay. So Natasha, about being a sports reporter, said that I'm creating my own podcast reporting in NFL and basketball, maybe include game-day snacks, et cetera, things like that. Yeah, absolutely. You can be creative. The thing that I always go back to is that if you're creating a type of content that you just don't know what type of brands like, you know, you should be targeting, ask your followers, ask your audience, because then you will know, because it's a shot of the dark otherwise. Obviously it's the simple low hanging fruit, the things that you're talking about, game day snacks, equipment, supplements, things like that you know you would normally target. But what are the things, what are the products, what are the services that your followers are using and loving? Those are the brands that you should be targeting, because like, heck, here's the thing, like, if you listen to podcasts, I'm sure, Natasha, you listen to like other, you know, Barstool Sports or something like that, right? They have lots of brand sponsors on there that have nothing to do with sports, right? Casper mattresses or something like that, right? Audible, right? Like brands that, you know, are just looking for a particular type of consumer, and not necessarily someone with they have to like be a sports addict or whatever. Like obviously if they're watching the podcast, they probably have an affinity for sports, but they are, you know, maybe they're a woman between the ages of like 35 and 45, and that's the target market for this particular brand, or whatever it is, or a man between 18 and 35, that's a target market, right? So again, you don't know until you ask your audience. And honestly, one of the most helpful things that you can do, I encourage all creators to do this, and especially if you're like doing that survey that I mentioned about Q3, like trying to get some like ideas for doing pitching. have a question in there about your audience members, a little bit of information about them, their age, like, have boxes for their age, have their gender, have their location, right? Where they're located, have, if you're comfortable to do this, household income. That is a absolute gem if you have that information as a creator. So, they don't have to tell you how much they make, but you can just do like a bunch of options. It could be like, 50 to 100,000, 100,000 to 150,000, over 200,000, whatever it is, whatever it is that you're, comfortable listing, and you can make it like an optional question. But how powerful is it when you can go to a brand and be like, hey, like, 33% of my audience has a household income of over X, right? Because a lot of brands will actually try to identify consumers that fit that mold. And so hopefully this is helpful, Natasha, because at the end of the day, if you're struggling to figure out like what brand partnerships you could start out with, you just ask your followers. So that would be my advice. Oh, Ashley said in the chat, right, Justin, how can you be scared of public speaking? You do classes, loves it all the same. And I think you have, Ashley said, I think you have so much experience, Justin, that sometimes when you deliver information, people's minds are blown and they don't have a question, at least not at the moment. I appreciate that, Ashley, so much. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to know. It's like, do you not get this, or are you just like trying to digest that information? Yeah, sometimes it's hard to know. Actually, that's actually a very big challenge for me, is not assuming people know like what's inside my head, right? Because I have so much information in there, and I've learned so much over the years that it's like I consciously always have to kind of like take a step back and be like, okay, if I was me 5 years ago, or if I was me 7 years ago, what would I want to know? What is the basic information that I like really would have like wanted to know? And that's kind of like the approach that I take when I'm creating content or making the modules for my courses and things like that. Because oftentimes I don't want to assume that people know things, right? Because just because I do doesn't mean they do, right? So that's a really great point, Ashley. So I appreciate that. And I actually said, yeah, I've always wanted to identify my audience's income, but I didn't know how. So thank you. Yeah, Ashley, absolutely. So just make a general survey and just include that as one of the questions. It doesn't have to be like, hey, this is a survey because I want to know how much you guys all make. No, it doesn't have to be that. It should be this general survey. Hey, I want to know more about you guys. What are your likes and your dislikes? What are the products that you use, right? Where do you shop? Where do you live? What are your ages? Do you have kids? If you have kids, what are their ages? What are your household income? What's your income like? What blah, 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 blah. Right. Another thing that's really helpful for household income is that if you know that 75% of your audience makes under, $75,000 or something, then you know that they potentially would identify with budget type content more. Right? It could help you clarify your content strategy. Or flip side, if you know that your audience is more affluent and they make over a certain amount, maybe you're going to focus more on higher end type products or something like that, right? So just a thought there. And Marcus said in the chat for Natasha, if you're reporting on local sports, you may get some ideas from the companies who are already sponsoring your local arena. Oh, boom. I love that, Marcus. That's such a great idea. I love that. And actually, Natasha, just real quickly, I'm not sure if you have or have not started your sports reporting like podcast or whatever yet, but I would actually consider starting local first. Because that would, I think, give you greater traction than just trying to stand out and just doing like NBA or NFL or whatever. Or maybe you have a particular team and you do like Atlanta Hawks like podcast or something like that. Because later down the line, maybe you could expand. But in the beginning, I actually have found that being more focused can give you a lot more traction, because then it's like very easy to spread word of mouth in that way. And I think a lot of creators are hesitant to do things like this because they think it's going to limit their potential. And I actually think it's the opposite. Like Marcus just said here, it's going to be instantly more clarifying. If you are going to focus on Atlanta sports, that's your podcast, or wherever you live. I don't know where you live, Natasha, but you focus on that. Now it's like, boom, all of Atlanta businesses is my target now. I can target all local Atlanta businesses, right? It's not just sports anymore. It's like the local pizzeria chain in Atlanta. It's it's the apparel brand in Atlanta. It's this local, blah, 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 right? All of a sudden it's like, boom, instantly obvious, like what brands and companies I'm going to be like trying to target, because those brands, they don't want to, those local brands, they don't want to like sponsor or advertise on these giant national podcasts, because it's going to be a wasteful advertising spend for them, right? They want to partner with podcasts or channels or platforms where it's like hyper focused, and they know that like this is the Atlanta sports podcast. Like I am going to advertise on this because all of my restaurants, all of my businesses are based in Atlanta, right? So I actually think that would be a much more lucrative path for you to go down. Take it or leave it. That's completely unsolicited advice, Natasha. But especially if you were like just starting out, like you're just like starting to plan doing this, I would highly encourage you to do something like that. So just a thought. Let's see. We've got Life with Mama B. What's up, Emily? We've got Love Stoned and Honing Home and Charmaine Blackie. What's up? Thank you so much for tuning in. Man, I'm like so amazed at how many people we have here today, you guys. This is like some of the like one of the largest audiences I've ever had on the live stream in a long time. So thank you so much. And by the way, if you find this live stream helpful, one of the like most meaningful things that you could do for me is sharing the live stream with another friend who's a creator. Sharing the channel. Just I am always constantly trying to figure out new ways to like touch other creators and like help other creators with their businesses and things like that. So if you find this helpful, I hope that it is valuable for you, for me to show up, every single week and do these live streams, answer your questions and things like that. So if I could ask one small thing, humbly ask, please share the podcast. Share the live stream, share my YouTube platforms, my email list is actually the thing that I would, feel the most honored that if you would share. If you're already on my email list, go to the most recent email and scroll all the way to the bottom, and there is a referral program there. I have never really talked about it much, but like you can actually like unlock certain rewards for sharing my email list with other creators. So the first tier, if you share my email list with 3 other creators, you will get access to my secret brand deal research. So I send out a separate email twice a month that has more detailed brand deal intel beyond what I share normally. So that's one thing. And then the next tier is $100 off my course. And then the next tier, so that would be 10 referrals of the email list. And then if you refer 25 creators, you get a one-on-one Zoom call with me. And then if you refer 100 creators, you get access to my course for free. My course is $1,000. So if you're in any private Facebook groups, or if you're in any text group text threads with your friends who are creators, if you share your referral link to the newsletter, that would mean absolutely the world to me. So I would be so appreciative of that. So again, if you're already on the email list, go to the last email I sent you and go to the very bottom, and there's like a little area where you can grab your referral link. But if you're not part of the email list, I'm going to drop the link in the live chat here, and you can join. I would love to have you on there. Boom. Let's see here. Oh, so D said, take the advice. The last time I took Justin's advice, things instantly worked out. Love to hear it, D. Love to hear it. And Marcus has massive value in these tips. Thank you so much, Marcus. I appreciate that so much. Drea said, it is very valuable, as much as it sometimes makes me overwhelmed, because I'm like, oh my God, I really don't know anything, and how I would be able to do that. I appreciate that. Let's see what Natasha said. Thank you so much. I'm excited. I'm in Nashville, so I'll definitely use these tips. Okay, Natasha, time for you to start the Nashville Sports Hour. I just named your podcast. I don't know. I'm serious. Do a Nashville podcast or a Tennessee podcast on sports, Tennessee sports podcast or something like that. I swear to you, mark my words. If you do that, like, I don't know if there's like, basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be now the competition of the sports radio shows, right? And now it's an outlet for other advertisers to reach, Nashville residents or Tennessee residents. You're going to be that person now. So I'm telling you, just think about it. Think about it. I think that would be super smart. Oh, okay, boom. Hold on a second here. We got to highlight this one. Chris said that the last time I took Justin's advice, I made $4,000 more. I'm going to screenshot that one, Chris. I'm going to screenshot that one. Thank you. I'm so thrilled that that worked out for you. And Ashley said, do you think you'd ever do one-on-one coaching? So I do one-on-one coaching. I do one-on-one coaching. It's a little, the investment is quite a bit more substantial. But if you are interested in it, I can absolutely let you know. But it's not something that I don't have very many slots, but I do one-on-one coaching. So Ashley, we can chat offline if you'd like to know more about that for sure. And, Ashley, I mentioned that Ashley, was part of my Brand Deal Wizard course, and which just ended, cohort number 3, cohort number 4. If you are interested, it starts in September. So right, kind of like after Labor Day, right around there. So you can just go to branddealwizard.com to find out more information about that. If you want to level up your brand deal strategy and start making more money on that. Yeah. So, I was going to mention one other thing. What was I going to say? Why do I hate that? Like, why do I forget? I'm like totally blanked. I was like going to say, I I can't forget to say that before I sign off. Anyways, Charmaine said in the live chat, you have so much information. I have learned so much from you. Thank you, Charmaine. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you so much. So we've got 5 minutes left, y'all. Where did the time go? The time always flies by. Any last minute questions about brand deals, diversifying? Let me know, y'all. The quick update on some of my other courses. So I have been talking about this for a long time, which is that I'm making a course called Gifted to Paid. This is one I'm super excited about because one of the biggest pieces of feedback that I heard from creators who wanted to participate in my Brand Deal Wizard course but wasn't able to or weren't able to was that they hadn't done many brand partnerships yet, right? So they didn't have enough experience because I'll be totally honest, like my Brand Deal Wizard program is a lot of information. It kind of can be a fire hose if you haven't had many brand partnerships yet and you don't have a lot of experience under your belt like that. So what I decided to do was design a course for creators who are just kind of at the beginning of their career and perhaps are getting a lot of free products, or they're getting a lot of gifted collaboration offers, but they're wanting to transition those into getting paid, right? And so I'm going to be making a course specifically about that. And it's going to be a fully asynchronous course this time. So it's not going to be a live course like the Brand Deal Wizard course. That's going to stay live. But this one will be like something on demand that you can just like purchase and consume like Netflix. You can binge it if you want to. And it's going to be more affordable. It's going to be, I think I'm likely going to be targeting, it's going to be a couple $100, something like that. So, the Brand Deal Wizard course is about $1,000. So it's definitely going to be a more modest investment, which I'm excited about. And this is going to be for anyone. So you don't have to have any experience working with brand partners. Even if you don't have a large following on social media, if this is something that you want to make income working with brands, things like that, this course is going to cover like a bunch of different tactics about how to ninja the brand's mind into like convincing them to pay you. So that one I'm super excited about as well. So I have so many things I want to do. So I just need to like set aside the time. I need to like work on the outlines and things like that. I have so much like in my mind floating around of like all the things I want to talk about in that course, but I'm super excited for that. And one of the things I would love if you have recommendations of things that you would like me to discuss or talk about in that course, then absolutely let me know. Because I got a tip from someone on Twitter the other day. They were like, I would love if you could like talk about how to turn affiliate deals into or affiliate offers into paid, right? And so like that's absolutely going to be a section of my course. And I was like, of course, like I need to talk about that too, because like that's another major hurdle that a lot of creators have. It's like, man, like how do I like I have a lot of brands offering to like for me to join their ambassador program or their affiliate program or whatever, but like I want to get paid, like I want to get like paid a flat fee. So like how do I do that? So like absolutely, I'm going to talk about that kind of thing as well. So yeah. Okay, yeah, we got a bunch of interested people. Marcus said, that's the course for me. Diana said, yay, so excited for this course. Ashley said, sign me up for all the courses. Sign me up for all the courses. Amazing, amazing. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in today. This was a blast. I hope you found this valuable. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you're in the United States, hope you have a nice long weekend. Happy 4th of July. And I'm about to go on a date lunch with my wife, and I'm excited about that. So everyone, thanks again, and I will see you next Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern.